Hey everybody, and welcome to my next episode of From Profits to Properties. This is John Lone King, and I appreciate you joining me every single week where I cover topics that will help you to grow your business, to make profits beyond your wildest dreams, and then help you learn techniques to invest in real estate so that you can grow those profits to long-term wealth through investing in real estate, whether it's your primary home, a second home, or a investment property, one investment or multiple. I want to help guide you to make this your reality. All right, so we're going to kick off today, and guess what? We are doing another AI episode. I am a huge fan of AI. If you haven't figured it out yet, if you don't like AI, then, well, you and I probably can't be friends. The truth is, I think that AI obviously is here to stay. That's kind of stupid to say that way, but the truth is AI is either going to help you with your business or is going to help your competitor with their business and hurt your business. So you need to look at how can I use this as a tool? What are the ways in which I can grow my business using this tool? And how do I make sure to leverage what I can use AI for? Now, I want to focus today again on ChatGPT. Just last week, well, you're watching this on Tuesday the 12th is when this was launched, 12th of August. So on Thursday, August 7th, the OpenAI released the newest version of ChatGPT, and it's GPT-5. Okay, this is a game changer. It replaces all of the other versions of ChatGPT. So if you ever paid attention, you had a model selector at the top, and the model selector gave you the option to choose between 04 versus 3.0 versus 4.0. 4.0 versus 4.5. versus 03 versus 04 mini and 04 mini high. Like, what the heck? I got 5 different versions. I have no idea what the difference is. They finally fixed that. They've simplified it, and you literally have one version that you care about, which is GPT-5. Okay, that's a new version. No matter if you are a free user or you're a pro user or you're, I don't know what the other tier is, but there's 3 tiers. Whether you're paying nothing, whether you're paying $20 a month or $200 a month, we all get access now to GPT-5. It is an advanced model that puts all the other ones together so that you don't have to think about, hey, what am I trying to accomplish here and which version should I use? It will decide that for you based on the prompting that you're giving it. And so I want to spend a little bit of time today. If you're listening to this audio only, I'd suggest trying to find it either on YouTube, or I think Spotify has a video attached to it as well. Maybe it doesn't, but for sure on YouTube, you can find it. Just go to John Lone King, youtube.com/John Lone King, and look at my podcast, and you can find it there because you want to see some of the things I'm showing you on the screen. Again, I'm going to talk to it all out loud. So if you're staying on audio only, no big deal. You'll get the gist of it. But what you want to understand is this can be your best friend in consulting about your business. So you want to ask it questions you never thought about asking. You want to think of it as your board of directors, as your consultant that you've hired, as your best friend that you're complaining to, because it's going to have ideas to give you feedback on things in your business that you didn't even realize you could use AI to help you with. And so I want to share my screen right now if you're watching on a video, and I'm going to show you here. So for example, I went in and I said, hey, give me 10 tactics that business owners should consider implementing using the new ChatGPT-5 in their business. I'm going to talk through some of these. So one of them is the new version lets you connect directly to your Google Calendar and Google Inbox if you're a Gmail user. Now, you might say that's kind of scary. I don't want AI to have access to that. Well, guess what? You already do, because if you're a Google user, Gemini already has access to all of that. But I think ChatGPT takes it to another level. You can use it in Gemini, you can use it in ChatGPT, but using AI to help you triage your inbox. Now, if you are a Microsoft user, you can actually do the same thing using Copilot. So you want to think about, how do I use the AI tool? Again, ChatGPT can connect to Google. You've got Google Gemini that is built into Google. You've got Copilot that's built into the Microsoft ecosystem. And whatever platform you pick, what you want to do is you want to reduce the amount of time you spend in your email inbox. There's a book that I was just told about, Buying Back Your Time, by a guy named Dan Martell. And in this book, one of the things that he talks about the most about buying back your time is stop wasting time in your email inbox. And AI can help you significantly in buying back your time by filtering the inbox for you. You can start giving it ideas of what your priorities are and what things it needs to bring to your attention so that you can get the things that you need to know right away, which is what we're all afraid of. You're afraid that something critical is going to come across your inbox and that you need to address it right away. Well, guess what? If you've told your AI system of choice what your priorities are, then you can have it filter or triage your inbox to say, hey, give me a priority plan, draft a reply, put together some time blocks in my calendar to handle whatever that thing is. Because from a scheduling perspective, if you can stop responding immediately to things that don't require immediate responses, and guess what? A lot of things that you think require an immediate response, they don't. You think they require an immediate response, but the fact of the matter is, if you don't respond right away, now a new lead, you need to respond right away. A new request for proposal, a new contract for a client, you need to respond right away. But most things, especially issues within your business, if you give the person handling it a little bit of room to try and handle it on their own, they're going to surprise you. And so don't be right there to help solve the problem every single time. The world will continue without you. And your team will likely grow faster and get better at what they're doing if you give them more rope, if you give them a bigger leash to operate on. And that means don't micromanage, and it means don't be there necessarily when they think they need your help every time. Step back a little bit. Give them some time to try and solve the issue. They're going to get better at solving it without you and not be codependent in leaning on you. So that's a really big one, is inbox and calendar triage. Now, next thing it talks about is maybe getting SOPs from a video. Well, I'm going to twist that a little bit. I love watching YouTube videos. And a lot of times I'll see a YouTube video and I'll say, you know what? I don't know how I'm best going to implement this, because that video is great, but it's got a lot of tactics, kind of like what I'm doing with you right now. And you might say, my gosh, I love that episode of John's podcast, but I can't remember everything that he said. And so what I have found is that certain AI tools are better than others. I will tell you, if you're trying to digest information from YouTube, use Gemini. Gemini has the ability to watch the video because Google owns YouTube. Google owns Gemini. They're interconnected. And so Gemini can get access to the actual video and can digest the data. And so I can say to Gemini, hey, create for me an action plan based upon that YouTube video that I'm giving you the link to down below. And it can create a complete action plan for you. I love Gemini for that purpose. I'll show you, as a matter of fact, I'll give you an example here as I log in on my computer to Gemini. I went through today and I said, you know what? I'm 18 episodes into my podcast and I really want to get a better idea of all the summaries of my podcasts. And so I asked Gemini to go through every single one of my podcasts. And as you see, if you're looking on screen here, and it says, yeah, I was able to watch all 18 of your podcasts and I provided a breakdown of all of them below. And so it did it backwards. Episode 1 is actually the most recent one. But what did I talk about in the first half? What did I talk about in the second half? Then the next episode, it gave me a complete breakdown of everything that I discussed in all of my podcasts, so that now I've got it as a written summary. Now I can be more organized into creating more podcasts, because now I'm getting up to a dozen and a half podcasts, and I want to make sure I'm not repeating content for you. So I figured I got to create a repository. So this is an example of another way you can use AI in your business. I've got it digesting the information. Now I'm going to create a repository. Now I can ask it every time that I go to create a video, hey, have I done something like this? And how similar was it? How long ago was it? Personally, and I'm sorry to let you down here, but you're going to hear some things from me over and over again, because I think they're that important. There are things in business that you can't just hear once, because sometimes hearing it once is the wrong timing for you to take action on it. And so you're going to hear me over time talk about similar tactics in different ways. That's how I learned. That's how I was taught. That's how I've been coached for years, is not hearing new and shiny things. Here I am talking about no new and shiny things while I'm talking about new and shiny AI. But the truth is, you don't always need new and shiny. What you need is consistent reinforcement of the things that you should be doing. And yes, sometimes those things will evolve. But the fact is, make sure you have consistent reinforcement of the things that you're doing, because you can't implement them all at once. You need to implement them as it fits into your flow. If you try and implement everything at once, you will get nothing done. So try and take one thing from what you learned from me and implement that. And then next time, take something else. And it might be something you heard before, but it's the third or fourth time that you hear something that you actually do it. And so if we go back, other things we're talking about here, hey, give me an objection library. List my top 10 objections and help craft concise rebuttals for each. So sales training. You can use this for sales training. This is an extremely intelligent system. Whether you're using the new ChatGPT 5 or some other method, it is super intelligent in helping you to determine in your business things like sales training. And you have voice mode in all levels, which means you can talk to the AI and have a two-way conversation, not dictating to it. That's one thing you can do, but you can talk to it and have a two-way conversation, which means you could tell AI, hey, I've got to go pitch a new important client, and I need you to pretend you are that client in this role play and object to me in things that you think they would bring up as objections so that I can determine which things will impact, which things are going to be the biggest objections they're going to have, and grade me on my ability to help overcome those objections. So your ability to sell can be enhanced, not by having AI sell for you, but by having you role play your process of what the objections would be and ways to overcome those objections. We've all talked or heard or thought about using AI for content creation. I think that's great, but I want to go well beyond that. I want to look at other ways in your business that you can use that. And I want to transition to kind of the second half. I'm not going to do a pause in the middle here, but I'm going to transition to kind of investing and property ownership. And I always talk about that in my second half. A lot of my AI episodes I kind of run straight through, and I'm doing the same thing right now. But I want to talk about some things you can use as a property investor. So every business owner, if you don't already own property, you should. If you don't own investment properties, you should look at owning investment properties. And here are some things that you can do as an investor in real estate. So first of all, the first suggestion it gave, and by the way, all these suggestions came from ChatGPT. So you don't have to know what to use it for. Ask it, what can I use it for? This is what's important to me. How can I get the most out of AI to help me deliver a higher level of what I'm trying to accomplish? And so here, 15-minute underwrite is the example. Paste 1 to 3 listings and some assumptions. So it says, hey, I want you to help me figure out which one of these 3 listings is the better deal. So help me underwrite this deal and help me run the numbers on it. Maybe, hey, help me with strategy about 2-1 buy down options. And that's something I can help you with as well. But you can take my data and run it through there and help interpret that. Rent comparables. So you can paste and link a listing and say, hey, give me the median, low and high rents and what your confidence level is in that. I always would add cite your sources. I want you to cite your sources. Anytime I'm asking AI for information, I want to be able to click on where it got the information from and have it cite its sources on where did it get that so that I can read the actual source data. Okay. The new version of ChatGPT is supposed to do a lot less hallucinating. So one of the challenges with AI is hallucinations, because hallucinations are the AI system trying to make you happy by not saying, I don't know. And so there's supposed to be a lot less hallucinating going on with the new level version 5 of ChatGPT. So I still don't trust it blindly. I want to get citations of how did you come up with that? Show me your sources. Dig a little bit deeper. Okay. An inspection checklist. Generate a checklist for this property. Property type and age includes safety items. Again, hire a home inspector. I'm not sure I'd use AI for that one. Property manager interview scorecard. I actually did this one for you. So I'm going to talk about this one in just a second. Landlord OS Lite. Build a 12-month operations calendar, tenant criteria. Oh, if you want to be your own landlord. If you don't want if you want to be your own property manager, if you don't want to hire a property manager, you need your own operating system of managing a property. It can help you build that out. Market snapshot. I really like that one. Compare these zip codes for price to rent, taxes, insurance, rough-ins, and landlord laws, and summarize those notes for me. ADU house hack. Outline financing paths, occupancy rules, and a 4-step ladder to add doors. So that's the ladder is a investor term, but basically you don't even have to know what these things mean. You can say, hey, do that, but also explain what all of those terms mean to me. But one of my favorite things is the exit strategy planner. And I think exit strategy is very, very important that I want all of us to be thinking about, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your investing into properties. You have to be thinking about your exit strategy. I had a client that I was talking to recently who had inherited a home about 15 years ago from their parents. And the parents had bought the house and then passed away soon thereafter. And the property's gone up significantly in value. And they've been renting it out for the last 15 years. So they've significantly depreciated the value. And so they've got about $300,000 in gain on this property that they're going to get when they sell the property because they don't want to own the rental anymore. And so they said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell the property, but I didn't realize my gain. I'm already in contract to sell it, so I have to sell it. And so they thought, well, gosh, maybe my best investment strategy is investing in a REIT, a real estate investment trust, because I can do a 1031 exchange and not pay taxes on that $300,000 in gain, which is a great idea. But I started thinking about it and I said, yeah, but I wonder what that means to your tax basis, because there is a tax law right now. It's been in place for a long time, but I say right now because I'm not a tax advisor. I can't give tax advice, and I don't know if it changed or will change. But there's a tax law that says when someone who owns a home passes away, depending upon how they hold title, when they pass the property to their heirs, the basis of the property is stepped up. In other words, you don't have any capital gains because you're paying the value, the starting price of what your capital gains is compared to is stepped up to current market value as of the date of death, except if you own in a real estate investment trust. From the research I did, I told this person, this client, hey, you should look into what the tax laws are here. Because from what I see, a REIT is not able to be stepped up in basis. And the whole thing is not paying taxes, but you're postponing the taxes. And if you own real estate, one of the biggest benefits of owning real estate is when you pass away or when your spouse passes away, depending upon how you hold title, the surviving heirs get a step up in basis, and now they can sell the property with zero capital gains. Well, if they sell this property and they buy into a REIT, then their heirs are going to have to pay capital gains taxes on it at some point in time. So that doesn't seem like a good exit strategy. So stay focused on your exit strategy and think holistically and make sure you're talking to the right partners. But you don't know what you don't know. And so that's where AI comes in, because you can ask it, hey, what am I missing here? What negative consequences would come from this strategy? What are my exit strategies and options? All right, last thing I'm going to show you is something that I created, which is my property manager vetting assistant. And so if you want a copy of this, please shoot us an email. You can email it to kingteam@johnloneking.com. That email will be, there'll also be a link in the description down below, and you can actually get it directly from us. But there is a link to this custom GPT that I created, and it's your property manager vetting assistant. And it will allow you to vet a property manager. It's got built-in scorecards that AI helped me build for you on what things should I care about when I'm picking a property manager. Help me compare property managers side by side. Here's an example. Help me prepare an interview script. And so it says, hey, great, alter the 10 questions into a clean interview script. But before I start, what are you buying? Like, what type of property is it? What city and state is it? Are there any special needs? And how many property managers are you interviewing? And so it is pre-built to help you interview property managers. And this is my gift to you for free. So if you want a copy of this, just either email us at kingteam@johnloneking.com or click the link down below and we'll get you a copy of it. I want to help you with these tools. And for a lot of these tools, I'm going to build them for you and give you a copy of it. And AI, specifically ChatGPT, allows me to do that. It allows me to create a tool that you then can use, and I can share it with you. And I don't get to see what you're doing behind the scenes. I don't get to see what you're typing in there. I'm just creating the template. And that template then lets you go and play with what are the outcomes? How should I use this? I'm working on creating some templates on how to determine if this is a good deal for me. Should I buy this property or not? And looking at some different factors. And so that's where I want to help guide you and give you insight and tools to help you to not only accomplish wealth through making more profits in your business, but also long-term wealth through investing in real estate. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this AI episode. If you are not doing it already, check out ChatGPT's new version, GPT-5. Recognize that on the free tier, you get limited use of that version, and then it kicks you to the, I don't know, there's another version now, another new version that is not as smart. So if you start getting the not so smart version and you say, gosh, I like the answers from the other version, well, that's how ChatGPT wants you to pay the $20. Okay. It's what I've talked about before, which is you've got to upsell your clients, give them enough information for free, but give them some, or enough information at your cheap tier, but give them some benefits to want to have that they're willing to pay more for. We all do it all the time in business. It's done to us in business. We do it all the time when we fly on an airplane and we get different levels of service based on what we're willing to pay. Well, ChatGPT is no different. So the free version is free. It gets you interested, but if you want to use it a lot, and I highly recommend for $20 a month, you've got a really, really powerful assistant here, pay the money. It is absolutely worth it. And sometimes you don't even know what you're missing until you pay the money and do it. And one of the biggest things that's missing and don't pay is you don't get memory. It doesn't remember anything about you. And so every time you talk to it, it's wiped its slate clean and doesn't remember anything. It's a game changer when you have memory because it remembers other conversations and can bring that into the fold as you're talking about something. Gang, I really appreciate you listening. Please reach out if there's anything that I can do to help you, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. We'll talk to y'all soon, and bye-bye.